let's get started.
Uh,
Welcome to the Operation STRIX podcast. I am your host, LaCroix. Joining me today is Roski Draftsman,
Hello.
the Cool Blue Rays,
Hello.
Dancy Pineapples,
Hi.
Raph,
Yo.
and Sid.
Heyo.
Heyo! Don't mind Roski. He's not able to talk right now, but he's here with us. I mean, he's able to talk, but his donut isn't.
I have
moving,
no
so-
mouse.
Oh
but I must
yeah.
scream.
Sorry, Mr. Donut. You're gonna have
Sorry,
to
Donut.
to keep still for a while, so
Yes.
I can info dump you on horror games that are tied to this chapter.
I can't wait.
Be still my beating heart. Guys, we have a chapter that we could talk about.
Isn't it a miracle of modern science?
Sound the
Miracle of
alarm.
science. Endo
And
has
don't hurt us
gifted
talking shit.
Good. Finally got off his
Yay.
I'll
ass.
show them.
I'll show
I'm
these
just kidding.
fuckers a chapter.
I'll show you a fucking Oh,
Yeah.
And he did, and I'm now I have shut up because this is something that we've been wanting forever. We got to see the new people of Garden. Well, not the new people, but we got to see the other members of Garden.
At least a few of them.
I'm
Some of them
few
are
of
not
them.
there,
excited. I'm
but a few
so
of them
excited.
are here for this mission, which is
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes, because apparently, at least there's at least one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a second. All right, let's just go ahead and start from the top, guys. I immediately, when I saw the chief or director or whatever his name is, I was like,
Walker.
oh, shit's going down. I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as he pulled
Finally
up,
give him a name.
who? The
The director, yeah.
Director Wilker.
That's like
yeah.
Oh, is that the
Wilker.
first time we've
First
heard
time.
that?
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time we
We've
gave him
only
a
ever
name.
heard him as director before this, so this is the
Or
first
the
time he
Wilker.
actually got his last name.
Oh,
Really?
wait, Wilker. I think this might ring a bell, but
Google it, Roski. In the
Yeah.
meantime, let's
Let's go.
The one time he doesn't have an encyclopedic knowledge of a
damn it,
specific
Roski.
person
We
named Wilker.
depended on you.
no. Okay, Wilker. Mhm.
Oh my god!
Man, I was kind of right about the fact that like the SSS like actually has some kind of ties with the Garden, but it seems like shopkeepers.
Yeah.
just
I'm
like,
not
"Nah, I
as
don't want- I don't wanna be
surprised as I
involved
think
with the
some people would be
politics."
about that, because we knew they were shadow government. And the SSS
Yeah,
very
no.
much is kind of part of that. So that doesn't really surprise me, I think, as much as it did for other people, maybe.
I think,
I
yeah,
just
it's-
wasn't expecting it to pop up right now. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting this now.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird the setup because, okay, clearly Garden doesn't answer to the government, which we kind of already knew. But it's like they're both, like they both have equal standing apparently. Like, you know, Wilker is representing the like actual government, and then Shopkeeper is just like, we do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
Don't mess with us, which is very interesting. Especially because, like, the entire time the director is just like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, I hate talking to this dude.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly
It's like,
they
oh, this
don't.
guy's
They're
suffocating.
just, yeah, I mean, they obviously, they're like, yeah, we work together because we have to, because we have similar goals, but they definitely don't
Yeah,
seem to
they-
like
they-
each
they-
other.
They don't
Or
like each
trust
other.
each other, in fact.
No, Wilker was very clear. Like, if we step out of the line, this fucker's gonna kill us. So don't do anything funny. which is very intense. And now I just remember that it wasn't Wilker, it was Wilkes, and it's not the same.
Okay.
Close
John
enough.
Wilkes Booth.
But yeah, so going back to like the whole like equal footing thing, like not even equal footing, because the way that this is presented, it very much strikes me that like Garden is above the government in some ways, because like he could very clearly just kill this SSS director and probably not receive any repercussions for that. Like he could just literally do whatever the fuck he wants and nobody can tell him otherwise.
No, yeah, it's very clear that he
Yeah.
can
He gives off
reject.
that impression.
He can reject any offer they make, and they have no objection. Like, he only accepted one because he felt like it aligned with his goals, but they were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna play your games. So no,
Mhm.
no to this one, no to this one. Oh, let's protect elk, which is very specific, but
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Has some ties.
but it's pretty telling the fact that he can just say no, and they don't even complain about it or anything. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna suspect that because they say that on average a single Guardian member can take down a whole troop of Green Berets. Like if they are roughly or at least at the same ballpark as Yor, Guardian is a little too strong for the SSS to fight back against. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this is off topic, but I loved when Wilker was mentioning like the whole soccer thing, I guess, and there's like, man, if we had like a team of you guys, we could, beat the West. And I just had the thought, like, wouldn't it be funny if they actually had to form a soccer team for whatever reason?
a soccer
And
match.
yours like
that
kicking
will be-
ass.
No,
So
but
wait, so if a soccer team has 11 members, right?
yeah.
means-
11 to 12,
Oh,
somewhere
shit.
around there.
Garden's got enough members to field a soccer
No,
team.
yeah, like it's
That means
it's
there's
11
at
members.
least 8 more. There's 8 more. So we haven't. Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
Damn.
7 more
Where's
because
Lancelot?
we have 7 because we
Who the
got
hell is that?
Hemlock, Jimpy,
Oh.
Gimpy, and Thistle.
Ralph,
And Yor.
that's a joke from a fanfic I wrote a long time ago. Don't worry
Oh.
about it, man.
yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
like it's
Oh, now that I'm looking at it.
it's server lore, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one of those
I'm not
funny
too
OCs.
in tune.
Yeah, it's okay.
No,
It's
it's
a-
like
it's a-
like early days of server lore.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. When we were still making OCs, which is pretty funny because one of the OCs I made ended up having similarities with a new one. Like,
Oh yeah, with Hemlock, you said.
yeah, I actually,
Ah.
yeah, that's crazy. Like, I got pinned down the rivalry. I got pinned down the white hair. I just didn't get pinned down the gender and the beef because my
Well-
god, that man has some beef.
Right, that's a dude, right? Like,
Yeah, that's.
are
a
we
dude.
all in agreement?
Not sure.
That's a dude?
That was my first reaction. That was
The
Yeah,
way
he's a
he's
dude.
dressed gives me the
Yeah.
impression he's supposed to be a dude,
Yeah.
and like just I don't know his face and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't
He's
know
a-
about the cane.
he's a
No,
Androgynous.
pretty
Like
eyelashes for
Sephiroth.
him.
No,
Yeah.
like he's meant to be androgynous, like a little bit
Yeah.
like Sephiroth or something like that.
Mm.
The weird mole things. Lately,
He's
I've
me
seen
for
a
real.
lot of-
I have like that many moles on my face, to be honest.
but like, but they're like perfectly placed. Like,
No, yeah,
You
That's-
think
that's
it's
my thing.
tattoos?
No. Oh my god, it's like a
I-
makeup mole or something. He just does
Maybe.
it perfectly every
Oh my
morning.
God.
no,
symmetrical.
There's so many
maybe
beauty marks.
maybe they are even piercings or something like that.
possibly.
Maybe like some old
we'll see.
piercings. Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
like
Yo, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Like,
Oh, I was gonna say, and since we're on the
Okay.
topic of the new garden members, my son, Gimpy, he is everything I've ever wanted in a child, and
I couldn't tell if that like his eyes were that big or if he was wearing like some weird goggles actually at first.
No, wait. Okay.
No, yeah,
so
he
He
we
does
are
have big
also
eyes.
we are also in agreement that Gimpy is a child and not just a very short adult.
no,
He's a
yeah.
child.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think he's a child.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
didn't
Yor
they-
was a child.
Yor was a child,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, it's pretty funny because
Alright.
I'm gonna guess Yor's interaction with Garden are gonna highlight an aspect of her character that isn't as positive, but is also very interesting. Yeah, because
Why does he remind me of Katsuki though?
I mean he
From
he
My
looks like
Hero.
he
Oh.
looks like a
Oh my god.
like
Oh,
he belongs
that's
from
an
a shonen.
insult.
I don't know who should be
I'm
more
sorry.
offended.
No,
I said he looked like Budget Killua.
oh
And,
yeah,
like,
he
I stand
he,
by that.
he looks a lot like Killua, but Killua
I'm sorry. That was
has
the first thing I
shown
thought of.
I don't know who he looks like.
able to be has shown to be able to be a complete badass, and this kid is just a kid so far. I insist so far.
Oh,
Eh,
okay, I wanted to bring it up because I literally right before we started this, I was like, wait a minute, there's no way Gimpy is an actual name of a plant. It is a plant.
it is a plan.
No,
it is.
it
Mhm.
is and I have a theory that the names, of course, correspond to how the assassins kill people. So, Gimpy plant is like the most so it's like okay, so it's like a stinging plant, and it's the world's most painful plant. And like
Yeah.
once it stings
Damn.
you, it just like burns, and it could
Oh,
burn
that's
for
what
the
that
rest of
is.
your life. Like it can
Yeah,
come
Oh
back.
my
it's
god.
Wow.
Oh my
it's
God,
a
that's
very
what that
intense toxin.
is.
Yes, it's like
So
the
Gimpy is literally Bakugo.
yeah.
So like,
Holy shit!
and you know what's funny? You know what's funny is his hair very much resembles like
The plant?
what I would imagine.
I thought
It
actually
doesn't really
those
look
were
like
just
the plant.
leaves or something, like
Yeah,
literally
he
just
look-
like a leaf helmet, like
yeah,
a
he
hat
look-
But
he
like,
looks-
for camouflage.
So like, let me copy this image. I'll put it in Discord right now. But this is what these are like the stinging thorns on the plant,
Oh my
and
god.
that very much reminiscent of his hair. So I'm thinking maybe he kills by like 1,000 cuts. You know what I mean? Like his
Maybe.
whole thing is just like super stabbing. Like super stabby is his way of killing
Super
people.
I mean, you're already stabs, but I mean, he's smaller, so it will
Yeah,
make
well,
sense.
I was gonna
It
say
seems
poison, but Hemlock is very much the poison
Yeah,
guy because
which-
did you see that tiny little
Highly
knife?
poisonous plant.
Yeah, he's definitely a poison guy. Which is crazy because the character I thought of was also a poison guy, which well, a poison girl,
Mhm.
which is weird, but yeah, it's strange because I heard, if I recall correctly, one of the names got changed in translation.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Which one is that?
I don't recall if it was Cecil or I don't think it was Hemlock, because Hemlock is a very popular poison,
Mm-hmm.
like in esotericism and all that. But no, I don't know if it was Gimpy or Cecil, but one of them was originally the Otogiriso.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That makes me curious about Thistle, though.
yeah, because I mean,
Spikes.
it's obvious that it was obvious the moment we saw that there was a character called Hemlock, that the names in Garden were gonna be tied to flowers and plants and all of that, except for the fucking except for Matthew, which is just Matthew. But
You know, I'm actually starting
Surely
to
he
wonder
has a
now,
code name.
if they were able to pick their own like names. So when Yor was young, she decided to call herself Thorn Princess, and Matthew was like, "I'm just gonna be Matthew."
that will be funny.
I think it's Shopkeeper. I think
Well, it's like,
Shopkeeper.
Oh
why
yeah,
is-
but
why
but
is-
but then why shopkeepers
I feel like he would assign those
like
names.
you are the Thorn Princess because you stabbed them to death. You're gonna be Hemlock because you covered them in poison, and you're just Matthew.
Yeah.
I just
Matthew
wonder
knows
why,
who he
like,
is.
I just wonder why Yor isn't like a plant. It's just like Thorn
Well,
Princess.
her
I
name
guess.
She's a rose,
because she's a rose.
technically.
Because the Thorn Princess is also known as the Briar Rose. Hence your
Mhm.
Briar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was actually a flower name.
yeah, it's tied to the rose.
Wow.
The more you know.
Like she's tied to the rose because the Briar Rose that
Like a
put-
briar bush.
put the Sleeping Beauty to sleep because she puts people to sleep with thorns. Like it's tied. Her motif is the rose. So the flower is tied to this Heian legend about a falconer that got murdered by his brother, and the blood covered a flower, and the flower was then called Otogiriso to remember the tragedy. And that tragedy inspired a horror game on the Super Famicom that is also called Otogiriso, that is also tied to another game that Endo has directly referenced before. The entire cabin chapter, the one with the murder mystery.
Chapter 94.
Yeah, the one with the murder mystery.
Yeah,
They're directly inspired on a visual novel that is the spiritual successor to Otogiriso. You know that where they make this whole thing where even the creators of the actual visual novel made another visual novel parodying their own work to promote volume 13, if I recall correctly.
It's 14.
Oh, volume 14. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll link it in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I worked so hard on this.
But Volume 14 and
Oh wow.
Volume 4 and that game is called Kaimatachi no Yoru, which is translated as something like the sequel of the night. In English, it was directly translated as Banshee's Last Cry.
No idea that this was a thing.
Yeah, and that game is about a murder mystery in a cabin, and all the characters are represented as semi-transparent silhouettes, which Endo directly references in his Twitter illustration.
What the hell?
And
That's hilarious. I had no idea
Yeah.
about this either. Actually.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Wow.
I also
Good job,
transcribed
Raph.
the whole
Holy
game.
crap. how do you discover this shit? Because I had no idea.
Are you like in
Rock's
some
full-time
secret,
job
like,
is Spy Family.
back rooms, dark web, Spy
Do you-
Family shit?
Do you want to run the podcast? Because clearly you're more qualified than
No,
I am.
I'm more of an information guy.
oh yeah,
Uh,
thank you for
posted.
that. And
You're the
You
guy
are
behind the
Frankie,
chair.
Raph.
yeah, and I love that they made that game because the name is also a pun now because Kamaitachi no Yoru in Japanese is written all in kanji, so it references the sequel and the night. But then you change the Yoru part with katakana and it becomes Yor's name. So now the game is Your sequel because of course they had to insert a pun there.
That's crazy. Well, that's awesome. The more you know.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's great. I'll have to check that out later if I can.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
same
like
here.
region locked or something.
least
It's only
maybe watch
playable
some
on your
videos
phone.
on
Yeah.
Like you can't play it on your like laptop or anything like that.
Is it in English?
Absolutely
think
not.
so.
That's why I transcribed it.
Absolutely not. Like, they made it for cheap to promote a single volume. They were not gonna translate that in English. And
I'll pretend that I know Japanese. But no, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And thank you, Raph, for putting all that together. That's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, we would be
You're welcome.
so clueless about anything else.
fucking hell.
Well,
Oh,
I'm glad. Well, I mean, it's good now that we have more assassin stuff to go.
Oh, yeah.
along
Thank
with all that
God.
because
Only took 115.
15 fucking chapters.
Anyway.
115 chapters.
Okay, well, let's say Yor was
Yeah,
introduced
technically
in
Matthew.
chapter 2 or 3, right?
what?
Yor was
yes,
introduced
chapter
in
2.
chapter 2, right? So really,
Mhm.
it's like 114, 13.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like a very technical
That's
here.
so
What about-
Like
better.
what about
6
Matthew?
years
He doesn't
now.
count?
6 years.
Hey,
Oh my
at
God.
least the number
Oh
is
my
even.
lord.
But
Maybe this
No,
means the
but-
manga's finally gonna start kicking it up a notch, you know?
Tare said that the cruise arc started in volume 8 and now this is probably like volume 16. So what if Endo continues with this pattern of every 8
Stop.
volumes
Stop.
Yor
each
gets
8 volumes,
Stop.
that will be fucked. But
Stop it.
but
We're
now.
It's
going over
probably
100
true.
volumes,
That's the
guys.
sad
But
part.
okay, the thing is, I think we should talk about Hemlock outside of his design or his name because, man, this guy got some beef, and we don't know why.
He is definitely okay. There's
I
like,
want to see another Yor fight.
oh, we're gonna get another Yor fight for sure.
Of course,
Oh.
we should, but
I want him to beat. I want her to beat his ass.
oh,
I don't know. I don't think they're going to fight. But okay, so we were talking about it this morning. I think there's two routes that they could take with this, and me and Roski were on the same vibe. That I think he's gonna. Because it's like, okay, I'm a little confused about like the time frame of this. They're making it sound like it's only gonna be one day, but I don't think it's gonna be one day. I think it's gonna be multiple days. So maybe Yor is gonna take Lloyd and Anya for some reason, like take him to the forest or whatever. And she's gonna be doing the same thing that she did in the cruise arc. It was like, oh, I'm just doing some work, blah blah. You guys hang out or whatever. And then Hemlock is gonna go after Lloyd and Anya, and then that's when shit's gonna go down.
yeah,
That's my theory.
yeah.
That's why I want them to fight.
I mean,
Okay, wow.
The thing is, I remember how Tari compared him to the Sasuke to Sasuke in Naruto,
Oh yeah.
which is no,
Not the Naruto reference.
no, but more in the
Oh
role
my
he serves to Yor's character, and I find it interesting because I actually gave it the. I actually felt a more apt comparison is Vegeta from Dragon Ball because of the.
Oh god.
No, yeah, no. Okay, let me explain. When Vegeta was introduced in Dragon Ball, he was a villain, unequivocally. He
Yeah,
was
that's right.
he was a completely horrible guy. He committed mass murder for a
And
living.
now he's a
As you do.
he's a dad.
Now he's a short king.
No, yeah, but he
No.
but the thing is,
And he'll do anything for his wife.
yeah, but no. I mean, it will be funny if that happens. But no, the context is that when he was introduced, he was pretty much a monster, and his dynamic with Goku was determined by the fact that he was confused in his rivalry because Goku kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and he didn't understand why because he was compassionate while he was not. Like the thing with Hemlock that we get to know is that it's very clear that this guy has absolutely no mercy. Yor has a very compassionate side that he can be very loving with kids, he can be very loving with his brother, with her brother, and all of that. While they have to say, dude, you have to kill the poachers, but do not hurt the elk, like because otherwise he's not gonna give a shit and just kill everything inside.
Right. I mean, like that one little scene when Yor is like, "Oh, we're protecting elk," and Hemlock interprets it as we're eradicating poachers. Like they clearly have two different ideas of how this mission is supposed to be focused on.
Yeah, and one is the compassionate, and the other is the sadistic. And for some reason, they are ready to throw hands the moment they look at each other. Like that very moment, like you can see that she's ready to fight, and that she's willing to fight.
And I can
He wants to fight.
I mean, it makes me
Looks of
think
it.
of Hemlock's, like, what was his reason for joining Garden in the first
Yeah.
place? Because Yor joined because, you know, for her brother to make ends meet. She did it, like, you know, she's compassionate. She's a protector and a provider. So it's like she sees things a lot different than he does based on the little amount of time we have seen Hemlock. So
No, yeah, but that's why I compared him to Vegeta, because because the character is like only the strong can survive. You are weak because you're compassionate. Because I get the impression that this guy is the kind of extremist that wants to kill anything that goes on the path of whatever he thinks is right. You know, so maybe
I think.
like kids, but less stupid, effectively.
Well, I mean, possibly. I think. Well, I'm always on the fence on things, but like, part of me wants to believe that. Okay, I would assume that either he's been in almost as long as Yor, or he's older than Yor and knew her as a child. And we all know how Yor was at the beginning of the series, and like how like she was very cold and robotic and stuff like that. She was a lot like Hemlock. So maybe his aggressiveness is more rooted in the fact that in his eyes she's dulled a lot. Like she is a lot less in his eyes effective as a killer. So maybe he's like tough on her because he's like, look, like you don't belong here anymore. Like you're not up to speed like we are. You know what I mean? Like
like
I mean, I was gonna say that. I mean, Yor's motivation for trying to like get married or have a boyfriend or whatever, part of it was because she was concerned about being a woman and about how that would look suspicious. Hemlock probably doesn't have to worry about that same issue because he is a man, and no one's really going to bat an eye to a single man in the country. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. So I can imagine that in some ways it's, you know, Hemlock doesn't understand some of the struggles Yor is going through because she is putting herself through a lot of unnecessary like stress and struggle with her brother, and maybe he would see it as your life would be easier if you like left him behind, you know. or something like that, because that might be how he perceives. It's like, if anything gets in your way, just abandon it, just get rid of it, and then it won't, it won't cause your life to be harder. It won't make your job more difficult and stuff.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So once again, yeah. I was gonna just repeat myself here because that's basically again Goku and Vegeta. Why are you the?
He brings the Dragon Ball again.
No,
I mean, Endo is a Dragon Ball fan.
No,
I
but
wouldn't
yeah.
be surprised if Yor is the Goku of Spike's family.
You know what?
I
I've
wouldn't be
actually brought that up
surprised
with
either.
Tari. I've brought that up with Tari a couple of times,
Yeah.
like unironically.
You know what?
For
I'm gonna
different
call
reasons.
it. That's what this is happening right now. We got some Dragon Ball Z shit going on right now.
I would fucking
Oh my
love it.
God.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
give Endo all of my money.
That will be fun.
Give
That will
me-
be really funny. But no, I meant it more
Give me
like
death.
how, because oh my god, I need to know more.
Roski's getting so
No,
Rosky's
I need to
tweaking, bro.
know more about this guy.
I need to see a Kamehameha. goddammit.
No, I need to I need to know more about this guy because
Well, we all do, Roski.
no,
We're
because
fucking tweaking, all of us. Every
Not
single
wait
one
another
of
2
us.
weeks, dog.
You know what's funny? I've been playing Drug Dealer Simulator.
oh,
And this is like, I'm totally like
what?
That was a crazy way to open.
Schedule 1. That's the one I've been playing. Schedule 1.
You know,
Broski, he gave us a hit. He gave us one tiny freebie, and now we're just fucking jonesing for more. It's like, Endo, give us the good shit. Come on. Thank God we're not monetized.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I am also interested in Hemlock. I will say though, me personally, I'm way more interested in Gimpy. Like, Gimpy's my boy.
oh yeah,
And he, like, I love his aesthetic, and I just love the fact that there's another child assassin.
but yeah,
So, like,
This
I wanna
is
be
like,
friends with him,
remember
like,
Agent
Anya.
Fern? This is like kind
Agent
of.
Fern.
It's making me think of Agent Fern. Remember?
Oh my god.
Oh wait, no, I thought
That's
you were
crazy.
talking about. I thought you were talking about Agent Ficus.
Oh, yeah, no,
Wait,
I
guys-
did mean Agent Ficus. My bad.
That's
Wait,
enough.
who the fuck
Oh,
is
yeah,
Agent
yeah.
You
Fern?
get it. You
Was
get
Fern?
it.
I thought it was Ficus.
Was it Fern or Ficus? It was
Who
a
is
plant.
Fern? Who is
Anyway.
Ficus?
Yeah,
Okay,
Agent
we had a
Ficus.
joke,
Well, that was
a
my.
joke about a plant that was named Agent Plant something.
We
Like
put
during like the very beginning of Spike's family, like us being nerds and having our own fucking website. That was a whole,
Yeah, we put
a
a.
whole thing.
So okay, I have to explain this now because it's really funny. Back in the day, before the anime, we were like, okay, we're gonna make a Spy Family website, and I had no idea what I was doing. So like, there was a gallery where people could upload their own fan art. The only problem was there was one picture that I could not get rid of for the life of me, and it was just a random plant. And so I put a spy hat on top of the plant, and he became Agent Ficus. And that was
Oh, I remember this now. I remember this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will never forget Agent Ficus. He was so funny, so funny, and I
I
feel
totally
like
forgot Agent Ficus.
Gimpy
I'm
is
too
kind
recent
of
for
like
this.
Agent Ficus
Oh,
come
yeah.
to life.
but no,
He's short. He's got green hair or green leaf. He's fucking Deku. I know we said Bakugo, but like, isn't that Deku?
but I mean, he's a lot of kids with plants. But yeah, but I mean, the more interesting part here is that the very fact he exists at all, and that Yor is very nonchalant about that, highlights an aspect of your character that I don't know if Endo is aware of or really ready to tackle. And that is the fact that deep down her actions are kind of hypocritical. You know, like all of them. I mean, of course, all the cast has this problem. But like Yor is so bent on protecting her family and protecting Anya because she's a kid, and yet she has no qualms in a kid being used for mass murder because she has been used like that. So the fact that she in that sense, whether it's conscious or not, whether it's malicious or not, there is a contradiction on how she acts, like a very direct contradiction because she's very fine with this kid being a kid that kills people.
I mean, yeah, I mean, she has trauma, and I mean, I guess until we know more about Gimpy as a character, obviously we don't know, but we can only assume that his backstory is just as tragic, given that he is a child and he is one of the most powerful assassins in the country. So
Yeah.
it's probably not good whatever happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess Yor can sympathize and empathize with that in a way. So like she sees him as an equal, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really interested to see how he got to that level and like what led to that.
yeah,
I'm just
there's
interested in how all these people get recruited in the garden. I'm like, were these all kids at one point?
Probably got scouted.
Mm-hmm.
Child labor laws. Where are the child labor laws?
This was clearly done before child labor laws were instituted. You have to understand that wartime probably made it very difficult for the government to get shit together and to organize. Hey, let's not have child working.
Were these kids all blackmailed?
Oh yeah, look. Oh
Working
no,
for garden.
the childs are working. What are they working as? Killing people.
Oh, speaking of children, okay, because I'm rereading it right now, guys. We need to talk about the former Empire of Oania.
Yes, I forgot. I was like,
oh yeah, we totally overlooked that. That's right.
What do you mean?
this is pretty
Maybe
important.
you
detail.
overlooked it.
Crazy about the assassins.
Assassins. Well, that was the big part, but yeah, it's easy to miss because I'm rereading it right now. I'm just gonna read it word for word. The entire southwest of Oania was once Imperial land. Garden has pursued these blah 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 blah. I'm skipping that part. A portion of those forests are in the demilitarized zone between east and west. We don't want any sparks in that tinderbox. So let's focus. For now, we're gonna focus on the fact that, okay, we already knew that there was a king in Oania. You know, there was royalty at some point.
Yep.
I don't know. I think the wording of Imperial, it makes it seem, okay, I'm going to throw my line out there. I'm going to see if you guys are about it.
Yep.
Okay, do I need to get my tinfoil hat?
Get that
They have a
tinfoil
prime
hat ready,
minister. It's
Pines.
just kind of like how the British monarchy kind of.
That's what. Okay, yes.
Yes.
I'm thinking, what if Oania and Oania Westalis were together? Westalis, there was a schism between the two, and so that's how we got the two countries.
Oh.
But Westalis used to be part of Oania.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed that.
Wait, I was
together
also
at one
under this
point.
assumption this whole time.
I mean, isn't
Yeah,
but West Germany.
effectively that what happened to Germany? Well, without the royal part.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, maybe I'm just slow.
And Anya's
No,
a
don't
descendant
feel
of the
bad.
monarchy.
Okay, Crow. We never explicitly
Crow.
discussed it.
Yeah, but
We still love you.
Yay. Okay, but Moon Princess, we're still about it, right?
Yeah.
Moon Princess.
Hell yeah, we are.
Hell yeah! I mean, come on! She's got pink hair. That's like practically every Manghua princess like character.
So true.
Wait,
What
Raph,
if they were in this like imperial land and they were like kidnapped?
yeah.
From that land.
What were you saying, Pines?
I was gonna say, Raph, I had a question because I know, aren't you building a timeline on the wiki?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I probably have to implement the Materan Empire in there.
Yeah, yes, I'm gonna ask if you did that, but then also, do you remember the chapter about the tea cakes and how there was all that lore about like
chapter
the tea
88.
cake maker?
I'm gonna send it in the chat right now.
Oh
You're
my
fucking
god.
insane,
Oh my
I'm
god!
already thinking about it.
Thank God
Brad,
we have
your knowledge sometimes scares me.
you and Rosie. Goddamn.
Y'all
But I'm just
got like the
curious
Yeah,
biggest
bro.
about
brains.
how I'm curious about how that lines up with this now 16th century or 1600s whatever emperor.
Ew.
I'm not entirely sure. We still don't know a lot about the history of Ostania. Like honestly, like Damien and Henderson are our only links to like discerning any kind of the ancient history, like of the world and the lore.
Yeah, Henderson was like a,
As of right
from a
now,
Duke
like,
family, right?
Yep.
I'm
Anderson was a
currently like
history
working it
professor,
out,
I
but
believe.
as of right now, I don't have
he was.
anything concrete.
There's a lot
Yeah,
here.
I'm just curious how this whole timeline works out because didn't we also not agree? Well, we still don't. We are in agreement that there were two wars, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
we know that.
Yeah.
We know that
Okay,
so far.
Mars has stated
minimum.
that there was a second war.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it implied that there was one before that too?
I think it is, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
what
just
do you mean?
remember there was the old man from Lloyd's past who mentioned there was a war before he was born, and obviously there was a war after when he was a child that started up. So
Well,
I think those are like kind of the two most recent ones. At
Well,
least.
there would at minimum have to be 3 because if we're working under the assumption that the two countries split, then that would have been.
Oh
another
yeah,
war.
okay.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah,
first
that's
war
what I
when
was
they
thinking,
split up
too.
like a civil war, and then
Yeah.
okay, I
And
get
then
it.
is the Henderson Martha War separate from the Lloyd and Yor Children War?
That
yes,
takes place before that, yeah.
yes, like
Okay.
Well, I
And
actually
then,
thought that
I don't think
war,
Lloyd
the
and Yor were
Henderson.
born when that.
Well, I was gonna say like
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
the
a different-
Henderson and
yeah.
Martha war? Wasn't that the war the old man probably was talking about? Because that was
Yeah,
like
that's
long before
probably
Lloyd
Right.
was even
no,
born.
but I don't know. Like the old man was old when Lloyd was a child, and while Henderson is old, he's not super old to be that.
Okay.
We don't know how because we don't know how old Lloyd is.
Lloyd, he seems to be around like his late,
Probably
or no, like late
30s.
Well, I mean,
20s,
we're like
mid
assuming
30s,
your
maybe
age.
somewhere around that range.
Well,
But,
yeah, no, they're probably Lloyd's probably around the same age because the war started. Like they were,
Both kids.
they
during
look
it.
like the same age, like around the
Yeah.
same age. Yeah, so I would assume at the latest like 30, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I figured too. Honestly.
Wasn't there a timeline in one of that said that Lloyd was like 10 years old?
Yeah, he was 10 when the war started, and Henderson. Yeah. Wait, what? I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, I thought there was a little mini timeline dropped.
Wait a minute.
Oh, was
hold
that
on.
canon?
Hold the
Wait.
fuck
That was
up.
canon, right?
Yeah,
That's canon.
Okay,
10
Oh.
question
Like,
mark.
we're
But-
waiting on the thing to be
Okay.
like translated, but I believe Yumika has a translated version of it. if
Hold
can
on, I have a
find it.
question now. So, yours 7 years older than Yuri. Okay.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the flashbacks of them together with their mom, Yuri looks like he's like 5 or 6 or something like that. But Yor also looks really young too. Are we working on the assumption that Yuri was like 3 years old when
I
their
kind of
parents
did.
died?
I
Yeah.
kinda
I
do.
think he was
Really?
like 4 or
I
something.
figured
He
he was
looked like
really young.
he looked very little.
Yeah, he looks tiny,
Yeah.
Bro,
but
have you met children recently? Have you interacted with children recently?
I saw the biggest baby at Costco the other day. Like, I shit you not, this giant ass baby. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. He must have been like 40 pounds. Like, goddamn. Like,
Oh, that's crazy.
oh my god. But no, I mean, also there's the fact that Endo will just draw whatever the fuck he feels comfortable with. It's like, oh, the timeline doesn't match. Fuck it, I already drew it.
That's fair.
Like,
Uh,
I know that feeling very, very well.
yeah. So, yeah. What was it? What else was I gonna say? Oh, right. So going back to since we're talking about the old man from Lloyd's past, I'm also, now that I think about it, that old lady, like right before the bombs dropped, and she was talking with Lloyd, and she was like, "Well, I have family in Oania, and I don't have any horns or anything like that." That paints an interesting picture because after the war, I guess we're assuming, okay, the second war with the Henderson War, I guess the situation between the two calmed down enough to where there was like travel between the two countries.
They put together a pact after the war, after the first war.
Where was that?
Let me
I mean, I believe you. I just I do
Wait,
not
there
recall
was
that.
wasn't there a talk in the first chapter also of like some sort of peace treaty, whatever?
True, but that would have been the third.
I mean,
peace
that would have been
treaty.
whatever the most recent war.
Yeah, it strikes me as odd. I mean, I get it, but to me, it's like it's almost like a South Korea versus North Korea type deal, where it's like because they have a demilitarized zone,
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of this kind of talk reminds me of like that conflict between the two countries.
So
Oh,
like I would not assume that there was a lot of travel between the two countries, especially like even back then there was like refugees and stuff going to Westalis.
oof.
And that's still going on. We were talking about Mr. Green and them when the boys were out there camping. Um,
Oh, the
so
going on
I
a
don't
picnic.
know.
But they did say that Westalis is like better off than Ostania is.
Yeah.
Economically,
Saying
Yeah.
that like
yeah.
Westalis is like
Yeah.
more of a
E-
more of like a richer country, I guess. So I'm assuming people
Like
wanted
West
to move.
Germany.
Well, that's like
Yeah.
one journalist said, like, don't be like a capitalist pig or something, like the Westalians.
Oh,
So,
it's with Germany. You know, it's the same thing.
East
Yeah.
Germany was a not great place to live at the time.
I'm sure there are people that kind of snuck over the border to try and have a better life in like Westalis.
Right. Yeah. I also see that in just the fact that Garden still exists, and like Wilker says, like they're still loyal to a dead empire, or to a dead empire. So it's a country very much rooted in tradition and like not moving the needle. You know what I mean? Like they're very conservative, whereas Westalis seems to be more progressive in that sense.
yeah.
So I would assume like we see that with Damien and like all of the higher ups at Eden, like there's still very much segregation, and like that's true for anywhere, but you know what I mean, right? Like everything is very set. Like it's almost like a caste system. Like you're
Oh.
born
I mean,
poor, you're
it's
gonna
very
stay poor.
conservative, that's for sure.
Oh,
like,
but yeah.
gender
Yeah.
roles kind of thing, and I mean, even just like the classes, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God! That reminds me both of England and Japan. In both Japan and England, the idea of the empire still means something, even if it's just symbolic. You know, because they have Queen Elizabeth. Oh wait, they don't have it anymore. But
R.I.P.
Oh, funny that you mentioned that. Do you remember how like they said the Twitter, like the Tumblr sexy man poll on Twitter, like just like contributed to that? Did you know Tumblr had their own like poll? Stan Pines won that, and then the Pope died.
oh fuck!
Oh god.
Oh fuck!
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh wow.
Like recently?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God!
Yeah, Tumblr is cursed that like that, but no,
God
like
damn it.
no,
Sorry, I just had
I
to
was
mention
just
that.
forgetting the name of the current king of England, but like he has no
Prince
Charles?
Charles.
Oh yeah,
Charles.
Yeah,
Charles. Okay,
the
I love
third.
that we
Charles
don't even
the third?
remember at all.
I don't even
Who-
remember that
Okay,
fucker, but
I don't speak French. Who is we?
As a Canadian,
Oui,
I
oui.
have to know.
but
Us.
well, but okay, King Charles. No, I was thinking because they had Queen Elizabeth, they have King Charles, they have all these kings and queens that don't matter for shit in the actual in actually having political power over the decisions that they are made, but they have political influence in that they are a symbol for people to gather around. And the same goes for the Emperor of Japan. Like, there's a prime minister in Japan, and then there's the emperor who has no actual political power, but people hear to him.
True. I agree to that. The only amendment I will add to that is most people don't know or realize that actually the King of England still holds all of the power. And this is something that I was actually very surprised to learn about, is that it's a constitutional monarchy on paper, but literally at any point the king could just be like, okay, I'm going to dissolve the government.
Oh.
Everybody do whatever I say.
Mm.
And he has the total power to do that. He could just throw the Magna Carta out the window and just be like, all right, we're going back to absolute monarchy. Now, okay, that applies to Ostania because we don't know if there is still a royal family, and we don't know if that's one-to-one like Britain, where it's just like, okay, if there is a royal family and there is a like surviving member or something like that, could they just show up and be like, all right, we're going back to the way things were. I'm in charge now.
I mean, the question is whether that happened or it's like Russia with the SARS. You know, that whole deal.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could have been a revolution. Although, I mean, if they have Garden on their side, who would fucking fight them? You know what I mean? Like even the SSS is like, yeah, we're not gonna mess with those guys.
No, fuck that. Like we're not fighting the fight.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how like I never really thought about it before. Where it's like, yeah, the prime minister. That means normally I think of there's always some kind of monarchy in the background.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And like, what if the Garden's like more like under? They mentioned that they're more for like tradition and
the nation over
Imperial
there.
stuff.
Are they? Okay.
You know what, crack theory? What if it turns out Yor's actually the lost princess or some shit, huh? How about that?
Her or Anya?
I could see I could see Anya and her mother being like, probably in that that militarized area or whatever.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, that is.
We still need a
Well, I
goddamn
don't
map
know
of
if
this
I don't
country.
think Project Apple could have done that because
Yeah,
that was
Speaking of Project Apple, now that you brought it up,
maybe because. Oh, go ahead, Ref. Sorry.
yeah, I think you guys glossed this over. But when Director Wilker meets with Shopkeeper, like here on page 4, he mentions Belle. Remember the seal from chapter 103?
Oh,
yeah.
He's like, oh, you see news today? They say that seal Belle finally swam back to the ocean, and he says, I'm gonna miss the little guy. And so and we have I think there was suspicions that the seal was part of Project Apple.
Yeah, because
That
it
was
was
really
like
interesting to
intelligent
me.
enough to like have thoughts.
Possibly.
Yeah.
it's a seal. She probably does.
Here's my.
She's probably just super cute. That was the experiment. They were like, "How cute is this seal? She's super cute."
I
maximize cuteness.
I love how there were actual experiments like that. Like they actually.
It's like Stitch.
Like people try to talk with dolphins, and that turned to be really fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. What was I going to say? Okay. Maybe the fact, because I'm like hyper focusing on. He's like, the guy's loyalty is to a dead empire. What if the reason why he's loyal is because he is waiting for whatever royal descendant to show up again? Like he knows that there's somebody out there, and like because he knows he's keeping Garden the way it is. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Maybe Apple, who I've been working under the assumption that Apple is like its own thing. Like it works for the government, and the government was opposed to whatever king or queen was out there. What if they took the royal family and used them to experiment for whatever reason?
That's what I was saying.
That will be fucked
okay.
up.
I think you had mentioned that, Sid. But like not Yor, but Anya and her mom, Moon Princess, boom.
Moon Princess.
Garden
always comes
is
back to Moon
answering
Princess.
to Anya. She is the boss.
God.
Fuck yeah! Oh my god!
Oh boy!
I'm fucking ready. Oh my god! I'm so hyped. Thank you, Endo. I will never talk shit about you again, at least until you start fucking up.
He gets one month.
Wait, there's another. We gotta wait a month.
When is the next chapter?
I don't know. When is the next chapter? Let's find out.
May 11th.
No.
Allegedly May 11th.
Allegedly.
May 11th.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
That's
May 11th.
Mother's Day.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's the day for mothers. Don't jinx it.
Oh really? Oh my god, that's actually so adorable.
It's gonna be
Your focus arc on Mother's Day.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
How cute. The Mother's Day arc where they kill poachers. Like
You know what? Hell yeah! That's Yor being an awesome mom. She's killing
Boss-ass
poachers.
mom. And you know what?
Mothers come in all
Yeah,
sorts and
fuck
sizes,
poachers.
okay?
I mean,
I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care if Endo said, "Fuck it, we're doing a bonus chapter, Mother's Day bonus chapter." I would be perfect.
I celebrate
Guys,
Mother's Day
what
on
if
the
there's
same
like
day
a
as we do.
What if there's
not
no?
Crow.
I will be
I
down
meant
for
Lloyd.
that. I will be down
Lloyd,
for
what if
there's
that.
a Bambi
Okay, everyone's
subplot?
talking at the same time. What are you saying, Pines?
Everyone's talking
What
too
if
much.
there's
One
a-
at a time. One at a time.
What if there's a Bambi subplot?
Oh,
Bambi subplot? We got a seal, now we get a baby deer.
An
Oh
elk,
wait,
whatever it's called.
Japan does celebrate Mother's Day the second Sunday in May, just like in the U.S.
I know you're not slick.
Slick.
Oh my god! But
Oh my god! And
UK
then Hemlock tries
celebrates
to
a
kill the
different day.
mom, and then yours like, no, we can't kill the mom. It's Mother's Day.
Oh my god!
that will be that will be a little on the nose. But I mean, let's gonna make bet if an elk's gonna die because Hemlock is an asshole.
Oh yeah, I probably would expect at least one to die.
Oh god.
I'm voting no.
I'm voting no because I don't want that to happen.
I will vote no, but if it does happen, yours gonna go sicko mode, and I am all for it.
That's why I want it. Sorry, elk. You're being sacrificed for plot.
For hype.
And then they find a baby deer. Or baby elk.
Why?
And then Anya gets a baby deer for
Exactly.
How do you keep an
The
elk in
royal
an apartment?
Don't worry about it.
all you suddenly hear in the middle of the night is that huge screech.
Is that how
Completely
deer
lost
sound?
it.
You said it's elk. Elk are different than deer.
Okay, but I don't know what an elk sounds
Have you ever seen the Polar Express? That's what.
No.
That's what.
Oh,
elk
yeah.
sounds
That
like.
was caribou. I thought that was, wait.
No, elk are caribou.
I don't what am I talking about?
I don't even know.
Oh my god.
What the hell are we
No,
saying
that's
right now?
caribou.
Actually, no. Elk and caribou are different.
I love that I just knew.
They're
Like,
pretty
oh,
much
that
like
was
the same.
caribou, obviously. Who doesn't know the cinematic masterpiece of Polar Express?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't miss anything. Don't watch it.
I figured.
I love Polar Express. Screw you.
I hate it. We have to watch it every year in elementary school.
Me too.
But it's
Oh
so
my god, I'm not the only one that feels the hatred for it. Like
I
I'm
love
with you
it.
too.
Okay, y'all are just haters.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
We had to go into we had to watch it in theaters in 3D every winter.
Yeah, but it's a good example as to why motion capture isn't good enough by itself to make a movie because fuck that's the uncanny valley every single frame.
Creepy Tom Hanks.
Yeah, most of the people voiced were Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks
know.
featuring Tom Hanks and Tom Hanks.
I thought he was impressive in it. I don't know. I guess that's just me.
He tried to do Nutty Professor and it just did not work. Sorry, Tom Hanks.
Oh, I'm gonna be like thinking about that like Imperial Land thing for a while.
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like they keep dropping little tiny hints, and I'm just like, I need to start making notes.
Don't worry, Raph is doing it for all of us. He's the only one with a
Exactly.
brain here.
He is
That's
the.
crazy.
We
He's
have
the
one
guy.
brain cell and Raph has it all the time.
It's his
Yeah.
brain cell. We just borrow it sometimes if we're lucky.
I don't
That's
I'll
borrow
lend a
it.
share.
Head empty, only tinfoil.
Oh.
But
Oh. Right.
that's a chapter, guys. I'm so excited. I'm ready for a Yor arc again, and I mean a garden arc, which is what we've always wanted.
Oh.
So,
Took him long enough.
Wait, did we even
really.
talk about like what the next mission is gonna be?
Oh.
well, I mean, honestly, I have no idea because I mean they're gonna be killing poachers, so I don't know. It might be like a what's it called, like an organized crime ring, or it might just be like couple dudes with like coon hats on and be like, we're gonna kill some deer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, won't Yor have to bring up to the
Hillbillies?
family that she's
Oh,
like, oh
no.
yeah, I'm going on a work trip for like
Oh.
a day.
Maybe.
Going to the
No.
southwest for whatever reason.
But they're
Maybe.
assuming that they're assuming it's gonna be like a 1-day job. Like she's not gonna be gone overnight.
No.
They say it's gonna be a 1-day job. I doubt it.
I know, I
Well,
doubt it.
obviously.
Well,
Yeah.
probably would
like-
be more effective to do it overnight. The
Oh, that would
Okay.
be interesting.
poachers are like camping out, and then they just take them out
Oh,
while they're sleeping.
well, okay, wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm throwing more shit out there. If it is a night thing, because we did briefly discuss the possibility of Lloyd getting... This would finally be, like, the Lloyd jealousy arc. So, like, what if... I mean, he already knows that Yor's going there, but he knows some other dude is going there, and she has to spend the night over there with him. Boom.
Oh.
Lloyd jealous arc.
Oh.
I mean, if it is an overnight thing, he'd be like, "Why?"
I mean, if it turns it to an
One of his
overnight.
coworkers are like, "Oh yeah, I saw your wife hanging out with another dude."
That could also be that. Look, I want drama, okay? Leave me
I do
alone.
want
Yeah.
drama. There's something like, I'd be very surprised if we saw
Oh my God.
something like that.
You
But I
people
feel
and your
like-
romance drama. Oh, but
I feel like Endo saves the jealousy for Damien and Anya.
why?
Lame. They're 6.
Like, yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
know.
not
Like
jealous
kids,
of everybody
I
at
guess.
6.
Well, there's that
Unfortunately,
drama
Yor
with
and Lloyd
Henderson
are
and
well-adjusted
Martha, though.
adults.
But yeah, but I
So-
mean, he already gave jealousy to Yor. Why can't he?
Right.
Yeah, he deserves to feel jealousy, for God's sake.
I mean, wasn't there some like recent interview with like Endo, and he mentioned that he said that like Yor had the most development so far.
And that's
Did
really sad if that's the case because oh my god.
I was gonna
Come on.
say, like,
Oh shit,
whoa.
we're fucked.
It's like he just roasted
It might
himself.
not be a
unintentionally.
lot, but
That's even
out of
sadder
all
than-
of them,
Well,
Fuck.
hopefully Yor gets even more character development this chapter.
I
or
mean,
next
it's like,
chapter.
yeah, she has the best the most, and she has the least screen time, and we have Oania all this time, and she hasn't developed enough. What? What the hell?
Yeah, because I will say though, briefly before we end this podcast, I did say on the last episode that Blue was a future seer. Since
Yeah.
we're talking about Lloyd, and you straight up said it's probably gonna be some Lloyd bullshit. And what did we
I
get
was
for the
right.
extra chapter? Lloyd
You
bullshit.
cursed us. You cursed us.
Oh,
You cursed. What's your prediction for the next chapter, Blue?
I was gonna say some curse shit, but
Do it.
well, I was gonna joke that like, oh, next chapter is gonna be like some Eden bullshit or something. We're gonna cut away from all the garden stuff.
Oh my
but
god.
no, in reality, I think
That wouldn't make any sense.
that's why.
that's
Because
it
for a short,
happened.
another short mission.
oh,
Endo does that.
But
but
I
I
just
think
got a
the-
short mission.
No, the real
Back to
prediction is that
anything.
we are going to go into a little bit more of an arc here with your Hemlock team up with Matthew, and maybe we're going to get a little bit more, like some backstory about your, maybe some stuff with Hemlock and her potential rivalry. It seems like there's some kind of rivalry. I would like to believe that Lloyd would be like a little bit worried for your, maybe just because she's like traveling out there and he can't be there for whatever reason. I don't know. But that's it. That's all I have so far.
I don't know if I wonder if Yor would like give details on what she's doing. She probably would just say she's going out somewhere from City Hall or something.
Yeah, but like if she's gonna be out there for at least a day, like, you know, because I don't know how far away the Southwest is, like how much time it's gonna take to travel out there actually. Because remember, they're not rich enough to have a helicopter flying around to the south for the fucking remember like Damien and the kids.
okay.
To
If
the-
Okay, but clearly that makes nothing. That means no sense because remember the bus hijacking where Lloyd was apparently at the border and then magically showed up to
Oh yeah,
the
that's
bus
true.
hijack. Endo does not give a shit about that.
No, he wasn't at the
True.
border,
I have
but
some hopes for
he
the
was some
anime that they
distance
might
away.
flesh that
Yeah,
out
he
a
was
little
far
bit.
away.
If they don't, I'll be very sad.
What is consistency? We don't believe it. We don't believe it here in Spy Family.
I want the anime to make to show just a clip of Lloyd rushing back home. That's all I want. That's all I
Oh,
want.
Yep.
yeah, they
Please fix
they
the hijacking.
they're gonna try to make sense out of it in some way. I hope, because you know the anime really sands out some of the rough edges of the manga.
Yes,
Like,
they are.
You
They
add to
are
it,
doing
so-
God's work.
oh yeah, like oh.
Thank you, Wit and Cloverworks.
Well, please keep doing a JoJo here and fixing up the things that don't make sense, or making,
Yes.
or at least trying to make them more sense. Because at times Edo comes with some bullshit.
Yes.
Oh,
Save us, please.
fuck.
But yeah,
Fuck them.
that was
Man, I would just kill for like this upcoming arc. Is that like we've already got some little lore drops and some new. We finally like after like what 6 years we know
6 years.
some
Fucking
other assassins.
Oh no, yeah, we know a little about shopkeeper finally.
It gets years to get here.
It's like I want to know more. I hope more lore drops the upcoming
Please,
chapters.
please.
And also, if there's an excuse to dive into like Yor's backstory and Garden stuff, I'm like, I know you have my
Oh
life
my
now.
god. This just reminded me about Shopkeeper's voice actor. I have to text Dice. I have to message Dice about this.
Junichi Suwabe.
Oh yeah.
Junichi
He-
Suwabe voices one of the male leads in this Atome game me and Dice play, and it's currently his birthday. So
Oh.
timely.
He wasn't the voice actor for Shopkeeper
He was
also
also-
Victor from Yuri on Ice and stuff.
Yes,
Oh.
and he was also
Yeah.
Sukuna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's such a
God.
varied repertoire.
Yeah, that guy's talented.
I mean, he has the softness of Victor and the fucked up nature of Sukuna, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
That velvety, deranged voice. Gotta love it.
God.
But okay. Any closing comments, guys, before we wrap up this episode?
I just hope we're here in 2
The
weeks.
government is watching you.
Oh.
Don't trust anyone.
That's why I
Oh.
have a VPN.
Is that why this podcast is sponsored by?
NordVPN.
Oh my god.
Please sponsor us.
No,
Someone
seriously,
sponsor us.
I hope we're back here in 2 weeks talking about more lore and stuff. That's what.
Yay.
Definitely.
We kind of had some. We couldn't really talk about much like 2 weeks ago, so we're like, okay.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, with that like short chapter, I'm sure it was part
Oh,
of.
did we
Endo's-
talk about
He has
that?
to have like a short mission put at the end of like a volume. Or
Oh,
something.
We didn't, but it was Lloyd bullshit.
Alright, in
And
summary,
then
Fiona
Fiona,
gets
don't forget
sick,
about Fiona.
and she records Lloyd's voice for some reason.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is,
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
I mean, it was one step forward, 3 steps backwards.
2 steps back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
she
agree.
was
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like with Yuri too. It's kind of like
I don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, it was very interesting how there was like a sort of parallel with 114 and the short mission 15. The vibe I kind of got from that.
yeah.
Like I talked about it like
I kinda
last
got that
time.
too.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if Fiona has like a Lloyd shrine.
oh.
Yes, that's exactly.
I mean, you know she does.
But
Yeah.
I mean, at
Without a
least it was
doubt.
like, let's talk seriously about Yuri going forward for a little, then let's make bullshit for Fiona. Like, it just feels like, yeah.
No, I liked it. I like seeing her.
I mean,
Plus, it didn't really
Uh,
do any. It didn't really do anything for me because I'm pretty sure that took place before the Wheeler arc, and she
It took place
literally went
after.
full psycho to the point where she broke every bone in her body for him. So I'm like, there was no growth whatsoever.
No, that one took place after. They stated that it was after.
Was
the
it?
fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on,
I'm like,
LaCroix.
how? I'm
Reading
like, how, I
comprehension.
want to know how much time has passed since the bull arc. I
Like,
want to know.
A month?
And-
No, not
Couple
even. Like a
months,
few
maybe.
weeks.
I keep
Yeah, I don't
forgetting
think
that
it's
like
been
this
that
is such
long.
like a
Yeah.
it's like this manga's been going on for so long, but everything that's been happening has been within like a few
months, yeah. I mean, it's a Detective Conan problem.
maybe
Yeah.
4 or 5, but
It's barely been a year in there, and we've been here for like what 6 years now. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Like,
It makes you really
over
wonder how
half a
much longer
decade,
we
baby.
have.
Over half a decade.
COVID was going on when we started this thing. Well, not the podcast, but when we made the Discord server. So, yeah.
yeah, I think
Oh
that's it.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, we're all old. Anyway, that's the podcast, guys. Hopefully we get some more stuff to talk about next week, which we will, or next episode, chapter, whatever. We're gonna talk
2
more
weeks.
about it whenever we get
when
together next
we get
episode.
together, yeah. So,
Yes.
peace.
But in the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.
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 Bye.